What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to A Certain Point of View here on POV, as we are here to talk some Schmoedown, as Season 8 of the Schmoedown is officially over. It is over. We are headed to the final postseason event of the year in just a little while, but the season is officially a wrap. Season 8 is in the books for the Schmoedown, and we're here to discuss it all. We got some really cool things to talk about. We have a really cool guest to talk about if he can get by his internet, which seems to be okay at the moment. We will see. But yes, we are here. We're excited. Let's go around the table, see how everybody's doing. Mollie, we'll start with you. How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. I feel like I've been super lazy getting ready for the holidays because I didn't feel like they were happening yet. Like cleaning my house and like getting ready to cook a bunch of stuff. So now
You're
I'm
right.
like,
Christmas is not here. You're correct.
It is 100%.
I don't know about you. I'm like done with my Christmas shopping.
the holidays in general. So now I'm kind of scrambling to get ready to cook a bunch of stuff. But
Food.
whatevs. I'll be
Nothing
drinking
wrong.
a bunch of wine while I cook, so who knows how it'll turn out.
I'm so excited for this.
So it is a weekday.
Stories.
Oh, goodness.
Mr. Avalosino, what about you, man?
Oh, nothing. A whole lot of nothing's happening over here. Literally. Like, I can't even get myself to, like, do laundry or walk.
You're on vacation.
Or
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah. Like, it's like level 10 laziness is happening right now. I'm like, I'm going to go see Eternals again.
I still haven't seen it.
I'm going to go to the grocery store. Nope. Like, nothing's happening. Nothing. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. My couch is, I think, probably starting to make imprints of my butt.
It doesn't already have one?
They're getting
Mine
deeper
certainly
into the
does.
couch. They
Mine
are.
has that imprint.
Yeah. And it's not, the way furniture's working out for people ordering it, this is not the time. So, yeah. Whole lot of laziness going on here. I'm actually rewatching WandaVision, and it's so good.
Ooh.
So, yeah. I'm kind of like going through like a Marvel TV show binge right now. Even though I keep wanting to watch crap. What's it called, Jill?
Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time.
I keep wanting to call it As the World Turns, and I know that's a soap opera.
That sounds like I was gonna say that's a soap opera.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm really digging Wheel of Time so far.
It's so cool. It is so cool.
I have had such like massive ADD that like I can't I need to pay attention, and I haven't gotten to that point yet.
I do keep just thinking to myself like, oh, this is exactly like this from Game of Thrones or this from Lord of the Rings, and I need to stop doing that and treat it like it's its own thing.
Yeah, I remember when the show first came out, or even beforehand, they kept saying the new Game of Thrones.
Well, it's a book series.
Prime Video's Game of Thrones. And like I get the comparison, yes, but like don't make it live up to that. Like what if it's just like a really good show?
Just let it have its own thing.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if it's set in like a medieval era with some kind of magic in it, they're like, oh, it's Game of Thrones. It's like it's not how any of this.
Are there dragons?
I don't know. Sean read the books. I have no clue about any of it. They are looking for someone named Dragon.
The books came out in the 90s sometime.
Yeah.
And it was like pretty late for a series like that, like a big fantasy series like that to come out. And I just remembered when the books were out and like a lot of my friends were reading it, and I was like, oh. It's a lot gorier than I thought it was going to be.
Oh,
love gore. Love gore.
Interesting. I watched also Birds of Prey, and God, I'm hot take here. I think that's the best DC movie.
That's not a hot take. That's an accurate statement.
It's that and Man of Steel for me, but
Birds of Prey is like miles ahead of any other.
I put it on to fall asleep to, and I ended up watching the whole entire thing. So
sounds about right.
It always makes me want that breakfast sandwich.
Yes.
That's the best thing of the movie. The best part of the movie. Yeah. Other than Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Jill, how about you? How was your weekend?
I forgot it was the weekend. It was fine. Went to my mom's yesterday, had some Chicago-style deep dish pizza, which was delicious. Found my favorite hat. Make Gotham safe again. It's
I've
best.
never had a deep dish. Is it overrated?
No.
not at all.
No, it's not.
It's so good.
You do.
So
It's
good.
not. It is not at all overrated. And so I brought some to Sean. I brought some leftovers. He was like, "We need to go get deep dish pizza." And I'm like, "It's literally down the street. It's like the next city over. Like we can go whenever the heck we want."
I will say, when I was in Chicago, we ate more thin crust pizza than we did deep dish because, like, you have it once and it's like, okay, it's a pizza, literally a pie of pizza.
Yeah.
You have to be in the mood for it.
It's a cheese pie is essentially what it is. It's just
It's
cheese.
it's heavy. It's very heavy.
It's
Very
heavy. But
I'm typically a
It's so
thin
worth it.
crust person.
I am too, but like every once in a while,
Domino's.
like there's something about a good deep dish where it's just.
Did you just say Domino's is thin crust?
No, I said
Domino's
except if it's
Oh,
Domino's.
I was gonna say Domino's.
I was
is
like,
not
Domino's is
thin
not
crust.
thin crust.
No. Domino's has the best crust. So I don't know
Accurate statement.
But I'm saying other than like if it's like a put in the oven pizza, I like a thin, like crispy thin.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
then decorated my mom's tree. I know it's November, Jake. I don't need to comment on that. And
With dinosaurs.
No, my tree has the dinosaurs.
Oh,
My mom's
okay.
tree has all of my Disney princess ornaments on it.
You should have a Disney princess tree for you and a Star Wars tree for Sean.
We should.
If
we
you
get a
put all
house.
those little men on it too.
He has so much little men.
Or just decorate one tree with them both.
That's so much. That's such a busy tree. You can't
Yeah.
do that. That's just a busy tree.
Not if you do it right.
She has 4. Why can't she have 2?
She has.
Well, she's insane. So I will say I respect the fall tree though. I respect the fall tree.
That's not at our house. That was at a friend's house. But I was like,
never mind. I don't respect you.
because one of their roommates is like you and is like, I will not stand for a
humbug.
Christmas tree. So the other roommate was like, fine, here's a fall tree.
He's the Grinch. Let us have our joy.
It's not okay. Anyway,
How was your weekend, sir?
weekend was very eventful. We have a venue.
Oh,
I'll be waiting for my save the date.
First day out, and the last place we went to, and it's a lock. So
Nice.
I won't
So
reveal
no
anything past
destination?
that.
That's
No
an
I won't
impressive.
reveal
destination
anything past
wedding?
that just yet. But
No
it's,
destination wedding?
no, we never wanted to do it. I don't think we ever really wanted to do a destination wedding
You
after
fooled
looking
me
at
into
it.
thinking you were doing an LA one. So
Well, after looking at everything and talking about it, and after everything, we think it's best just to stay around here because this area, we are very lucky with the amount of wedding venues we have.
I'm sure there's a ton.
Because there's a lot of open spaces and people have strictly just wedding venues.
Yeah.
So it was very I told you guys we fell asleep at 8:30 on Saturday night because we were so wiped from looking at venues all day. We were gone all day long.
this is true. He falls asleep. I usually don't text him past 10 o'clock because I'm usually like 90% sure he's asleep. I text him at like 8:45.
Y'all are gonna have a
Don't look at me.
social
I'm fine.
crisis.
That's Grandpa over here.
Y'all are gonna have a social
well,
crisis.
I was
when
doing-
you're for Spectacular.
we left at 7:30 in the morning. Like, of course we're gonna be exhausted, like
That chat going after you for being like 10:30 is my bedtime.
whatever.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, to be fair, 10:30 is also my bedtime, but like, there's a reason why I took the Monday of Spectacular off. Like, that's my day to sleep. Because like every other night, I'm gonna be up until like 2, waking up at 7, and I'm already mentally preparing myself for it. Bring me Red Bull at Spectacular, thank you.
That's
So call. We're literally gonna be there for quite a
literally
while.
next
on Saturday.
week.
It is literally next week.
Wild to think about.
All right, well let's get this thing rolling so what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna talk with Mr. King Khan himself, if his internet is correct, tonight for a little while to start the show, and then we're gonna get into season 8 as a whole because season 8 is officially done. Maybe some good things, some things maybe we would like to see adjusted next year, favorite matches and stuff like that, and then obviously gonna preview Spectacular to end the show. Talk a little bit about the event itself, maybe a couple of the matches. But that's kind of the idea of the show. And so let's get the ball rolling. Let's start with our interview here. He is back for the third official time, but second time on screen. And he has officially headed to Spectacular as one of the few rookies who will be competing in LA in just over a week. And that is Mr. King Khan himself.
Hello. So full
Hello.
disclosure, before people think I'm the second coming of Koi, I was not at my place last week, so that's why
I was
my
gonna
Wi-Fi.
say you weren't
No.
home. You were somewhere
No,
else.
I was
you
not
know?
at home. I tried to do it from my phone. Obviously, that didn't work. So my internet is fine.
No, you're hey, all good. We appreciate you trying for the half hour that you
Yes.
tried
I
last
know.
week.
Yeah, it wasn't some like one and done. Like, all right, I give up. Sorry, guys.
Tried
It was
so
like
hard.
solid half hour.
No. Well,
So
we made it work. So
We
we're
did
good.
it.
Oh yeah, we're
Thank
excited
you.
to have you. I mean, look, this is well, first of all, this is really cool because you're the first person we've had on the show who is officially headed to Spectacular on screen since they've booked their ticket, essentially.
Mhm.
How does it feel to be part of this rookie class that is now headed? I mean, you, Griffy, Nikki, Thomas, there's a bunch of you who are officially headed to play at this event. Is it kind of surreal thinking back to a year ago to where you are now?
Oh hell yeah! I mean, just looking back from when I started, on draft night when Christian announced or Gucci announced my name, the entire chat just going, "Who is this? Gucci has a bad draft." To my first win, to then losing in the singles tournament, but then coming back to win the teams tournament, and now I'm actually playing at the biggest event of the year. It's crazy. It's a roller coaster ride. Doesn't begin to describe it. So,
Do you get
very
nervous?
fortunate. I mean, doesn't everyone? I think like
Not
some people
everyone.
some people are better at hiding it. I think
That's
I'm-
the thing.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's
I
what it
think
is.
I've
Like a
gotten
whole-
pretty good at being able to control the nerves. Obviously, Spectacular is a whole different beast, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited for the opportunity.
Okay. Jill, I'll let you take the floor.
Yeah. I mean, I've said this. I'll be the first to say, y'all at the exchange, shut me up real quick.
I won't
With-
admit that just yet.
I mean, there's so many exchange members at freaking Spectacular, so y'all shut me up about me thinking that draft was absolutely insane and pure insanity. How are you going into Spectacular with your study prep? Are you changing anything? Are you kind of just going about it how you have all season? How are you and Griffy and the rest of the exchange kind of going into Spectacular?
I mean, I think the plan doesn't change because you saw how the plan got us 35 wins. So, and that's the most by a long shot. So I think
by a lot.
Yeah, so the plan is mostly the same, just to continue studying with the rest of the faction. I think me and Griffin are just strategizing how to plan for Shazam. I don't want to tire him out too much because I know he has another match later in the evening. So I know I have to carry the load, and I think I'm ready for it. So we'll have to see once Christian says let's get ready to Schmoedown. But I'm feeling good.
Now, are you kind of? Does it make you feel better with the fact that your partner has 2 matches, or is that make you a little bit nervous with the fact that your partner has 2 matches?
Thankfully, we're the teams are playing first, so I will get Griffin at his strongest. Not that he's ever like at a low point. So I'm confident even after the teams match, he'll be fine for singles. But yeah, I have the utmost confidence in him. He has the utmost confidence in me. We text back and forth more often than I would think for someone who's as busy as he is. So yeah, it's just I think we're ready, and he won't be tired. So
I didn't expect him to be tired.
Does he even sleep? Doesn't seem like he ever
Does he
sleeps.
sleep?
No, he will text me like way late in the night just asking questions, and I'm like, "Why aren't you asleep?" And he's like, "I don't know."
sounds like Mollie Damon.
Yeah.
Getting text from her at 4 a.m. going, Mollie, what are you doing?
It must be an East Coast thing.
It's an East Coast thing. You crazies, go to bed.
We're a bunch of lazies over here, apparently. Brian, you got anything for King?
I mean, Jill kind of stole my question. So
I'm sorry.
that second one. I was good until you got the second one.
Sorry.
I mean, overall, you've been a fan since the beginning, correct?
Almost the beginning, yeah.
Almost the
I think
beginning.
it was season 3 was when I first started watching. So yeah.
How?
Which was, I think that was the first time in like the Collider Studios. If I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
I believe
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Okay.
That's fair. How weird and like surreal is it to go from just like, I mean, that's like almost 5 years worth of watching this show just like for entertainment, and now you're going to like the Super Bowl of it. Like, has that actually like legitimately like been something that you're just like, oh my God, this is happening? Or is it going to be like probably when you're up on the stage?
I mean, like some days it doesn't even cross my mind that I'm going to Spectacular and playing the Schmoedown. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do that. And then other days I'm like, wow, it really is happening that me and Griffin are playing on the biggest stage. Yeah, it's crazy because when I started watching, I watched literally everything, even stuff I didn't know. I watched every Star Wars match. I watched every IG match just because I loved watching the game. And so I think I've got the gameplay aspect down. And so I think getting to play really helped me just like hone my strategy in terms of just going through the questions, knowing when to use repeats, knowing when to slow down, take your time, or when to answer faster. So it's a crazy journey, and it's not over.
It's an understatement.
Mollie?
I'm curious because next season a lot of things are going to change and a lot of stuff's going to be kind of mixed up. What are some of your like dream scenarios for not just you as a player, but like the whole Schmoedown next season?
Well, obviously the goal at the end of this year is to have the belt.
Yes.
And then next year, like if we have the belt, I assume then Gucci will keep me and Griffin. So
he would be dumb not to.
Right.
Oh no, people on my faction have the team's belt. Let's just not pick them up again next season.
Let's not put it past him.
I mean,
all right.
That's also valid.
But yeah, I think at least for me, obviously the goal is to do better in singles. I had a very early exit with Lon, and that was like the one low point of my year. And that wasn't even because I was playing live for the first time and the nerves got to me. That was just I didn't know the questions at the end of the game. And so I think with a little more preparation, now that I've tasted the live environment, first at the Cantina and then at Spectacular, I think I'll be better suited for singles next year. So I think I'm going to next year with some trepidation, but I think it should be overall just a continuation of the enjoyment that I experienced this year.
Yeah. Cool. Do you have any dream scenarios for other players, or like what you would love to see happen next season?
I'll play anyone. I've already at least had a hand in beating some of the former champs. So let's go after the rest of them. Let's play. In two scenarios, I was denied a chance to play Dan because I lost to Lon, and I would have played Dan, and then they lost to Press Room. So I didn't get to play him again. So it seems like next year might be the time when I could finally face one of the greatest players of all time. So we'll see.
Nice.
Fingers crossed.
Jake, question.
I'm the one running the show. Excuse me.
I know.
We have a couple Streamlabs that have come through. Tim here kicking it off. Remember back in the Schmoedown draft, we were all saying, what the F at all the rookies drafted, especially the exchanges rookies. This was the most dangerous gamble Gucci did in my life following the game, and it shockingly paid off. I'm stunned. I think like Jill said it up top, I think we all are.
Did we record? Were we recording when we were all watching that together? I don't think we were.
I don't know, because we were all in a giant backstage room with
we
Rachel.
We were in a huge Zoom call with like a bunch of people during the draft, and I wish we were recording it because all of us were going, what the hell? Who is this? Who's that? Like, we were losing our collective minds over what was happening.
Especially for Griffy, because especially for Newman, because we were like, who the heck is this?
We were like, who?
So high up on his draft list.
It was,
it paid off.
It was quite a night.
Oh, yeah.
To say the least. Quite a night.
Another one from Tim Sim here. Anyone remember when many of us had the super faction, the Dungeon, as the preseason favorite to win the faction title with their big names as Merle, Bateman, Mollie, Canoptic, and Video Drew? Stunned they were out when Merle lost in the singles tourney.
Whoops.
Oh.
Oops. And I whoop. I mean,
everyone. It was everyone. I mean, Christian was mad that Dan and Ben were a team. Like, let's be honest. Like, we all know, like, going in, we're like, this is a massive super team. of just
Yeah.
killers, and then
They're
we saw
human, guys. They're human.
Like it happens. Like,
Well, we saw it last year, right, with the exchange. They started off so hot, they had all the titles in their hand, and then they fell just slowly throughout the year. They had all the players, and they rebooted this year into something that was fresh and new, and look what they've done.
I mean, that's just sports in general too, though.
Uh-huh.
Like, how many times has the Dodgers and the Yankees done that?
The Red Sox, when they got all those guys in like the early 2000s, like it.
I mean, we won though, so.
Well, not with the other
Okay.
team.
Okay.
But I mean,
Not with Adrian Gonzalez and Carl Crawford and those guys.
sorry, but
Farrell here has a Streamlabs, and this is a good kind of segue here. With buzzers, no, not fast money. This makes does this make you worried? Like with Brother Lomas, and will Brother Lomas be in the crowd at Spectacular?
I do have an inside source that tells me, unfortunately, especially for Brian, Brother Lomas will not be attending.
No.
When he told us, we were heartbroken. But yeah, he couldn't make it. But his presence will still be felt, obviously. So that's unfortunate. But in terms of how me and Griffin will adjust to buzzers, I think at least fast money's not obviously it's not the same, but I think some of the skills translate. Like you have to know an answer very quickly, and so I think obviously we'll practice beforehand. But I think we should be fine with the buzzers because me and Griffin are both very good at listening, knowing when to give an answer, like in the middle of a question, or just to wait for the full question. So I think we should be ready. We'll see how. Obviously, Shazam's very good at it, so we have to be prepared.
They're not bad.
I was gonna say. I mean, as far as teams go, they could probably be considered the most evenly matched when it comes to the buzzers. They're both really good at it.
Yeah.
And obviously, Brendan being the he's got those kid-like reflexes.
Right.
So
what was he?
Yeah.
That's actual Brendan Meyer.
Well, remember in 2019, so we've seen him digitally do it, obviously, but in 2019, that's when he first like popped up as like the buzzer kid because he was like on top of the buzzer, just like ready to go as that little kid, just like
ham on that thing.
Yeah, he went.
Someone made the
crazy
joke
on
of stop making love to the buzzer.
Yeah.
So true. So true.
Exactly.
He's got those spry young reflexes. That's what it is.
Well, I think I'm as young as him, so
okay. Well,
I think
so hopefully,
that's true.
So hopefully that
we have
he's
a lot
not the
to
only
live
quick
up to
one.
then. I mean,
Yeah, so hopefully he's not the only quick one. So
that's fair.
Let's go.
Are you excited to see, like, is there any, I mean, obviously you have to kind of focus on yours.
Mhm.
Are you like excited about getting to sit and watch the other matches live? Or is it just like, I can only focus on mine and that's really all I can think about?
I mean, I'm not sure when we're playing, so I don't know how many matches I will get to sit and enjoy. Because even once we win, I still have to kind of help Griffin train for his match against Marisol. So hopefully I can at least enjoy one match. I'm excited for all of them because they're all super close and hard to call. So for all you fans, it's a real treat. Us competitors is going to be terrifying because we're
Anxiety City.
But yeah, I'm sure you'll have fun.
Backstage will be fun.
Yes.
Backstage is always fun. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Because you're busy getting people drunk.
If it's
I don't know what you're talking about, Brian.
If it's like Schmoedown of old, then the teams match with there being 5 would probably be smack dab in the middle. But obviously things could be different, being that Dan and John are playing each other. But if it does stay the same like it has in the past, then it would probably be
doing first names today. I was like, who the hell is John?
Dan and John.
So it would probably be. It would probably. I mean, this is just me saying. Roca versus Merle, and then Nikki and Thomas, then teams, then IG, then singles. Is probably.
I was gonna say, I think Dan and Roca are gonna be before the singles, like the match right before the singles.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's the closer.
Oh no, they're gonna do the singles title as the closer.
But I think it honestly.
I don't know.
I would not be surprised, and if they don't like have it set in stone going on.
Apparently, it's already been said.
Oh,
okay.
I think that's the joke at fourth.
It's second. Okay, that's what I said. It's second to last.
That's the jab. That's the jab.
I see what they did there. I see what they did.
I would honestly.
Very clever.
Okay, so like I mean, obviously this is a long shot. I would not be surprised if, like, because you and Corruption are like neck and neck, like points matter. If like things kind of just don't like get moved around, if the points get closer, if it's not, just like trying to keep things suspenseful till the very end. But then again, that would drive you poor competitors insane.
Yeah, no, that would be no.
I mean, that's kind of the point, though, right?
To
in
drive them
most
insane?
scenarios,
In
most scenarios, the singles match is the one that will decide the faction winner.
Yeah.
The only scenario where it doesn't is if Mike loses and we beat Shazam. Then it's over before singles. But so yeah, there's a lot of pressure on that. So that I think that has to be last, but obviously I'm not.
Does that? So speaking of, do you feel any outside pressure maybe from the faction that if you guys do beat Shazam, it's over? Like, does that come into play?
Well, it depends on if we're before Mike and Parker or
okay.
after.
So say you are before Mike and Parker. Then
I don't think there's as much pressure. Obviously, when I lost against Lon, obviously I felt terrible because I had just essentially quote unquote wasted a spot in the tournament for us. But then I saw the amazing support that the exchange gave me after I lost. So I think, there's pressure to win the faction title, and us winning would help that. But I think even if we were to lose, that no one's upset because like look how far our rookie team got anyway. So in the back of our minds, we would love to win the faction title, obviously, but that's comes secondary to enjoying and playing the game. So
I think Eli's order guess is mine.
Star Wars IGT.
Star
That
Wars
would
is
be
usually first.
That would be mine too.
I actually like what Haskell said. 2 title matches, Roka Merle, 2 title matches.
Makes sense.
That would make sense too.
Yeah.
Speaking of all of these matches that we're going to be seeing,
And they're all 5-rounders.
And they're all 5-rounders.
Buckle up.
Like I said, bring your Red Bulls, ladies.
So
and gentlemen.
many buzzer beeps.
Do you, as we're talking about all these matches, do you think the curse of the last live spectacular is going to happen again, where we're going to see a lot of KOs and TKOs, or do you think that's just a thing of the past?
Oh, I thought you were going to mention how Shazam has only lost at Spectacular.
Well, well, that too. That's what I
Con,
did say.
I'll confirm, Con, they're not going to lose at this spectacular.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Oh, okay.
It happens once, it's a fluke. If it happens twice, But I mean, I don't think any of these matches will end in a KO. I'll say that. Like maybe one will get away just from bad luck or a bad wheel spin, but I think they should all be close. Maybe 1 or 2 go to sudden death. But yeah, I think it should be. That's all 5-rounders. That's 25 total rounds of trivia. Just good luck. It's good luck staying awake, everyone.
Not
like I
including
said,
the possible overtimes in so many of those.
I don't even want to think about it. Like, don't even put that into the ether that we're going to get overtime.
The document of questions that PJ assembled.
Just put it in the ether.
It's probably longer than the dossier.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I have a fun question. Keeping the singles and the teams out of it, because those are the ones that you guys are competing with the most.
Right.
Is there a match that you're looking forward to watching as a fan the most?
So should I also eliminate Roka Merle because we're all
sure? I guess you only have 2 to choose from.
I guess I only have 2 to choose from.
I was gonna say no.
As a fan, it's probably Star Wars. Just to see, like Nikki, try to defeat the person who defeated her husband. Both undefeated rookies going for it. Obviously, they both beat Gold Leader, which is a shame. But
no, it's not, Con. No, it's not.
It is. Well, yes, it is. But yeah, I think it's a great story for whoever wins. As a fan, I'm probably rooting for Nikki just to take the belt and become the first female Star Wars champion. So
fantasy points.
I would. That's probably the match I'm looking for the most that doesn't involve us.
I mean, it makes sense. And what's crazy is as much, and maybe one day it'll change, I'm still shocked that Star Wars goes first every time. Like those matches are so high profile now. And I get it. I get why singles is always last. Like it makes the most sense. It's the original of the Schmoedown. But Star Wars has become so high profile. And this match could be like the Death Star blowing up. Like this match could be insanity.
And just logistic wise too, I feel like Star Wars matches usually have the most viewer count.
Yeah.
Which one would you put first then, though? IG?
Teams.
Maybe.
I might flip the two. Maybe not Star Wars go like 3rd or 4th, but maybe teams then Star Wars.
I'm sure Star Wars doesn't mind going first, getting that out of the way.
Getting that out of the way, and they're just like, all right, we're done.
Yeah.
Just like,
Mollie's
I can
like,
only
yeah.
keep so many facts in here for so long before it has to spill out.
I was so glad when Alex was in Spectacular going first, because then we could just like get it over with and watch the rest of the
And
show.
just chill.
I'm excited to see them play as we watch.
Just in the crowd or
in
backstage.
the crowd.
They're gonna be talking with each other. We're just gonna be sitting there like, holy.
I can bet most competitors in their division, they're gonna be playing along. Yeah.
They're gonna be like how everyone else is when there's like tapings. They're gonna be on their phones in their little notebook thing, writing down the answers as it goes. I'm just gonna be like, you.
I could just see Alex like sitting in the rows and with us, and if Thomas misses, you idiot!
Oh yeah, he's gonna be fuming either way that he's not up there. No promises that he won't just assume he's still playing and go up on
Storm the
stage.
stage.
Hi guys, I'm here.
Yeah, if Thomas loses, he will absolutely laugh in his face.
You guys are ruthless.
Yeah.
I hope we have it on the POV vlog if that happens. I would love to.
Yeah, if Harper loses, Gold Leader will also be.
Yeah, Gold Leader will be up there with Alex.
Yes.
Poor Alex. Oh,
Poor Gold Leader.
Not poor Gold Leader. No. All right. Any final questions for the king himself? Anybody?
How are you? How was your weekend?
It's good. A little behind the scenes. It will be my birthday the weekend before Spectacular, so that just gives me more motivation to go out there and win.
Okay, well,
to myself.
my fellow Sagittarius, I'm gonna be messaging you later
All right.
about fellow birthdays. So I will be talking to you soon.
So yeah,
Nice.
how much sweeter it'll be to get a belt for my birthday.
Are you turning like 17? How old are you?
I was just going to ask you.
Can you legally drink yet? I'm sorry, I had to.
No, that's
fine. I'm sorry.
I will be 27.
Okay. You're not. I thought you were younger than that. Okay.
Actually, we met in person, but all right.
No, I know. Giving you ish. I'm sorry. I love you very much.
Dude.
What do you? I'm curious. What do you like? Some of your family and friends think about Spectacular?
Yeah, they're just like excited that I get to play live and for a championship. They've watched all of my matches and they're like they're rooting me on, obviously. And so yeah, I think it's
like what this is.
I had to explain it to some of them, and obviously when they got back to me, they're like, I didn't know the answers, so it was kind of just like watching just to watch. But I think they've gotten behind it, and they're fully behind me, trying to help me win. So we're rooting me on. So
Nice.
that's good.
That's awesome.
Are they going to be in attendance?
Don't know.
Okay.
Unfortunately, no.
Oh.
I am the only one who can make it up. But yeah.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Well, Con, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Glad the internet was capable this time around. We were able to talk to you beforehand. We're looking forward to seeing you in person for the very first time, hanging out a little bit, talking with you, and obviously we wish you the best of luck with everything that's headed your way.
Do you?
I mean, no, because I'm a Schmoedown fan, but you know,
Rude.
I know. Rude.
I was trying to be nice until Brian threw a wrench in the plan. So, you know.
Rude.
Hey, at least you didn't sway. At least when you're merch.
This gentleman has a sticker of our show on his whiteboard.
And I love it. But
you're gonna come in here and disrespect.
But I'm a fan, and I gotta root for my boys.
Does that mean does that mean you get to take your own whiteboard and we get to see our logo?
Yeah, I plan on bringing my own whiteboard.
Ooh.
Yeah, it also has the Orco sticker. And if I may quickly plug, tomorrow is the second half of Masters Universe Revelation. Griffin did not ask me to say that, but the second half releases on Netflix
true
tomorrow.
Team partner right there. Plugging
Go watch that.
Teammates.
Then when you're done, you can come and enjoy Spectacular.
Yay!
There you go.
Well, King, thank you so much for stopping by again, hang out a little bit. Hope you have a great Monday night, rest of your week. Happy Thanksgiving as well. And we'll see you here in just over a week.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Mr. the King. Bye. It's almost
It is
spectacular.
weird hearing you say, "I'll see you in like a week." I'm
yeah.
like, oh my god.
That's
See you next
crazy.
weekend.
I know. I'm going to be picking up people from the airport in like 9 days.
I'm gonna be on a plane. That's like it's been years. That's just weird to think about. Molly,
Yeah.
have you been on a plane since?
Not since the pandemic.
Yeah,
Oh, I have.
It's been a while.
My plane experience was awful. Let's not talk about planes right now.
I know you have instilled a fear in me that I'm terrified of. That
But yours wasn't on the plane. Yours was just airport issues.
No, I was stuck on a tarmac for 2 hours.
But that's the airport,
Ugh.
not the plane.
Yeah.
That was the
It
airport.
was. Let's not talk about airplanes or airports or flying or anything. That's the mainly reason why I'm driving. Anyway,
Beep, beep.
no, all in all, like it's just fun and games. I do wish Khan the best. I mean, it's been great to get to know him. He's been one of the competitors that's been constantly, talking with us in our chats, conversing through the year. Very excited to get to see him in person, see him, Griffy, and see what they do for like an entrance together. We saw Griffy do one in New York as a singles player, but I'm interested in seeing what they do together as a group. And with the exchange probably being there, it's probably going to be a full army of them. Because I think a lot of them are LA based, if I'm not mistaken.
Of the exchange?
Yeah, quite a bit of them I feel like are LA based. I know or not LA, maybe like West Coast based. Maybe like West. Ty, right? Isn't he West
Ty?
Coast?
Ty is, Con is.
Ty, Con, Craig, Roca,
Gucci.
Moose, Gucci.
There's a lot of them that are LA based, so there's going to be an army of exchange members.
I don't know if Moose is LA based, but he's been in a lot of the tapings.
And obviously, a lot of competitors
Not
are coming.
Taylor and not Kim
But
Daly.
they'll be here.
Yeah.
Taylor
I know
will
a
be
lot
here.
of the dungeons are going to be there.
Well, there you go. Those are the only three that won't be there.
Oh, Moose won't be
I want to meet Moose.
Yeah, and obviously Taylor's all the way coming from down under.
From
I think
Australia.
he left today.
They
I
leave
think
in
they leave-
24 hours.
Yeah, they leave tomorrow, so
wow.
they'll be there as well. So
That's how
you'll
long
see
it takes to get here.
You'll see a full exchange team bringing out
Swimming.
the King Arthur, and then
I
obviously.
mean,
Griffin
I
as
think
well,
all of
so.
corruption is going to be there. Just saying.
You guys are pretty LA for the most part too.
No, we're not.
No?
No,
Well, Adam and
James
Marisol-
White,
Yeah, that's right.
James White, Jacob Ludham, Adam,
true.
Marisol, they are not nearby.
Never mind. Way off.
Yeah,
All right. Well, before we get to some season 8 stuff, just kind of recapping the season a little bit. Molly, I want to get your thoughts on Friday's match because you weren't able to watch it with us in the reaction. Griffy Newms ends up winning the singles tournament. He's headed to Spectacular. He's going to be facing Marisol McKee for the singles championship. What are your thoughts on all of this business with Griffy Newms?
Man, he really took this season by storm.
that's an understatement.
Like, I wonder, I'm excited to talk to him in person because I want to just pick his brain about like what he thinks of all this and like what he thinks about.
Talk to us on here.
I know. Will he talk? I was going to say, will he talk to us in person?
That's true.
We may not recognize him.
Follow him around.
Follow, just like sneak behind him.
Yeah. He commented on my Twitter post of my Halloween costume, so we're a bit BFFs.
We're like best
Oh yeah.
friends.
Oh dang it! I should have asked Mr. the King. Well, you're in the chat. Ask Griffy where he gets the beers. That's what.
Oh yeah, send us beers. Our
Beer
Dang it.
recommendations.
Bank check.
Yeah.
Send it our way, please. Thank you.
But I
Sorry,
mean,
Mom.
after seeing how close the match was, I'm devastated for Barbarian. But yeah, super excited for Griffy. I mean, I think the crowd seeing the two of them play, because Marisol hasn't played in so long, it feels like, and that's
Not
just going
since
to be
she's
an
won.
insane match.
Well, she defended. She defended against Chance.
That was in
Hasn't played since New
September,
York.
though. Or
That
beginning of October, sorry.
That was beginning of October.
Has she played since New York?
No.
Yeah. That was a while.
Feels like a lot longer for some reason, but
And
It
it's
so
does.
much build up.
It's also really cool just because it's the first time in what feels like anyway that we haven't had like a mainstay name of like the Dan Murrells, the John Rocas in a singles title match at Spectacular. Like it's.
I mean,
it's
you can
Marisol-
put it's as singles. Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
It's Marisol versus Griffy Newms, and Marisol's been around for a year, but it still feels so new to have this like new class come in and fight. And Jill, I know that you were championing early on this year, like I want to see new people with the belts. Like,
and here we are.
And
here we are with two matches. There's two matches that have complete rookie title matches. We have the Star Wars match,
Spectacular is full of people who could win a belt for the first time or retain it for the first time or whatever.
We have rookies in the teams. We have rookies. We have Griffy Newms in the singles. We're getting
coming out of every.
This belt is exchanging hands, and I am living for it.
Hopefully not exchanging.
While I love, I love Dan and I love Ben and I love all these heavy hitters. It's just nice to see belts with new people, because like we never got to see belts with googly eyes and like traveling around the world as we do with Thomas Harper right now. Like, this is why we need rookies to get the belt, because we get these all new experiences. Like, take your belt on a kayak ride. That's what I need to see.
Take your belt out to a nice dinner. Treat it right.
Just treat it right. Take them to Washington, D.C., show it the history. Do what Thomas Harper did. Like, and that's what we're
I just want to know, like, when they fly, do they just have to, like, check it? Do they carry it with them?
That's a Mollie question.
Alex always put it in one of our bags, kind of like on one side, and we just like stuffed the middle with clothes and stuff. But going through TSA with it, people are like, what the hell is in your bag? Yeah. And he tells them, and they're like, what is that? I don't know. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was wondering. That was my next question, was TSA. I'm like, are you psycho?
I'm sure it's not the weirdest thing they've seen, but it definitely gets a lot of head turns.
Have you seen that one video with the TSA agent? Where she opens it for the bachelorette party. And a gentleman or ladies' toy, and he just goes,
yeah.
I see what you got in there.
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, let's get into some season 8 stuff, because look, we had a ridiculous amount of matches this year. I think we counted them last week. It was around 160 matches this season. We did 106 reactions this season.
We have no life.
Yeah, it was a crazy year, but there were a lot of really cool revelations that this league made through the year, developments. It grew a lot. There's a lot more fans. There's a lot more people competing. And even though it is a little bit of a downsized season next season, there's a lot of good things to take away from this. So just kind of some overall thoughts on what you may have liked from season 8, maybe some things that you would like to see adjusted, or what you're looking forward to with season 9. Brian, why don't you start us off?
Gordon Curtis just totally made me laugh. I was like, oh yeah, the sword.
She couldn't get her gavel through last time she came into town. They wouldn't let her bring her gavel.
Really?
Gavel?
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with that?
It's a hammer.
Oh,
I mean, I guess
didn't even think about that.
It's a hammer.
Hit you in the head, I guess. This season was wild. I mean, what do you expect though when you inject 50% new players? But I think it also was awesome. Was there a lot of matches? Absolutely. Did it affect it in a good and a bad way? Yeah. Bad way, we didn't get to see that many people that we wanted to see. So that sucks. Was it awesome getting to meet these new people that are just as amazing as the old people that have been around for a while? Yeah. I mean, there's going to be goods and positives and negatives to any way you look at it. I mean, overall though, I think it was great. I mean, again, we are still in a pandemic, so like it's the best that we can do in the given circumstances. So I don't have any issues with anything this year. Just other than, I mean, I would have loved to see some more people, but at the same time, we got to meet a lot of awesome people, and I think that's the biggest takeaway. The only thing I would say negatively going forward is it's going to suck that it clearly, like, we just got all these amazing people and it's going to like get cut in half at like less than a year after we got it. So hopefully it doesn't push some people out next year, because there are a lot of great new faces along with old faces that I don't want to see leave because of small circumstances. If it's their own choice, then I'm happy for them. But yeah, overall, I mean, what more could you really ask for this year?
Jill?
Brian said a lot of my own sentiments where, there's definitely been pros and cons to, the digital era, or however they're monitoring it now. I don't know. It was definitely nice seeing all these new faces, but again, because the roster essentially doubled in size this season, we saw some of our favorites once.
Not at all.
Or not at all. It was not that I'm saying that I didn't want these new players to come in. Obviously, see you. It was definitely great seeing, we saw some amazing rookies. I've made friends with these rookies because they're now in the Schmoedown. So I am nothing but thankful with the fact that we, what's this?
This would have never happened without digital age.
This never would have happened. We would not have existed without the digital age.
No, we had to beg, plead, Mollie, please join us. No, I'm kidding.
But like I said, if Adam Witt wasn't managing part-time this season, we would have seen him once.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Paul Preston twice.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Rachel Silvestrini one time this season. Like so many of these fan favorites we didn't really get to see. But on the flip side, we got so many matches.
Yeah.
And that can be taken as a pro and a con in itself, The fact that it was on average about 3 matches a week is a lot. And I'm not even just saying that from a reactor standpoint. I'm saying that as just a regular fan. I'm saying that as someone who is trying to discover it as a new fan. 3 things a week, that's a lot to ingest. So while my hope is, I don't know if this is happening. My hope is that with the shrinking of the roster, that we'll maybe get 1 to 2 matches a week, which I know for a lot of people is like, oh no, we need more. But it's a lot.
Less is more sometimes.
Less is more. Less is more sometimes, and
go ahead,
I'd be happy with 2 matches a week. That's fine. But 3 to 4 is
well, sometimes there are even 5.
That's
because the double pay-per-views.
And I have no problem
3 in one day.
That's a lot.
And I have no problem in admitting it. There were weeks that I was just like, oh God,
any human being I feel would go, this is a lot to ingest. And even as a reactor, I'll straight up admit I skipped matches because it was a lot to ingest. And
I think all of us did. Yeah,
sometimes we just had to.
And we're only saying this because we love the game. I think we've been given a little bit of the right to say criticisms, and that's kind of what we do as an after show. We're allowed to say some pros and cons. And Jill's right. Sometimes it just became a lot.
It's a lot, and I'm hoping that it becomes how it was pre-digital era, where it was we would get one. On Wednesdays would be either a Star Wars or an IG match, and then the Friday would be either a singles or teams. That's kind of where I'm hoping we get back to that kind of routine schedule, because not only does it kind of burn out the viewers, it burns out the competitors when it's I'm filming a match today and I have another match. If I win this one, I'm filming another one in a week and a half. And it's that's a lot.
I think another thing also with what Jill is saying is we were getting so much movie trivia Schmoedown NTS that it kind of by the amount that I was getting, I literally in my schedule did not have time to fully enjoy FCL.
I couldn't watch
another set of 2 matches on top of the sometimes 5 that we're watching in a week. And that's literally one a day, every single day of the week.
Full disclosure, if you guys have been watching for a while, you noticed that we started out by reviewing FCL and then it dipped off because we couldn't
watch it. We had no
fit it
time
into our schedules anymore.
Yeah.
We had no time. So I'm hoping with next season we get back down to the 2, maybe 3 matches a week if there's a pay-per-view. So that way, and especially now that that FCL is going to grow with a lot of the people who are on the current roster going into FCL. Like I know Peggy has announced that she's already going into FCL. I would love to watch Peggy. Like I want to make sure I have the time to watch these rookies that I fell in love with this season who aren't going to be on the main roster next year. I want to continue watching their journey. So that's like my one big criticism of this season. But I will say that despite it being a digital era, we have gotten some of the most freaking spectacular matches that we've seen. And I know a lot of people don't like it being digital and they want like the vibe of like a studio feel. Totally get it. I completely understand. At the end of the day, we're still in a pandemic, so they had to adjust. And hi, Peggy. Hi, darling.
Peggy.
So that's that. And I'm also really excited for storylines again.
Yeah.
Jill,
you're taking everything.
I'm sorry. Okay,
I'm joking. Go ahead.
Stop. I'm on my soapbox again. I'm sorry.
To add to that, just teensy bit. I will say with the rookies though, like one thing I did love is the fact that we didn't have stories, and we didn't really have character work. It kind of was just everyone's personalities,
just like to a 10.
And it was just like I was totally fine with it. Like you could tell some people are sassier than the normal person, and that's just their personality, and they didn't have to character it up. And I think that it was pretty fun. I would personally love to see, and I'm sorry, this is more of a sports reference, but Jake, I don't know, like MTS and FCL be more like the East and the West, and then maybe like a meet in the final type thing. Like I think that could be something interesting to explore, just so that way like it doesn't.
And you can also do storylines where FCL competitors will pop in, and like it's so that way as a business standpoint, if you put FCL people into MTS storylines, that is going to make people watch the FCL so they can understand what the heck is happening.
Yeah.
Like an AFC, NFC type thing, Jake.
So I hope they bring, because like the beginning of the year, we got that freaking great like Schmoedown thing with like Ben Bateman on his balcony with Andrew Guy talking about like 3 years ago. And Ben is like, what are you talking about? And then that just kind of stopped out of nowhere.
We do have a super chat I want to get to, Mollie. I definitely want to get your thoughts because you actually kicked off this entire season. So I want to get your thoughts.
Doesn't that feel like
that's crazy?
Yeah. To Brian's comment though about the AFC or like the East versus the West type of thing or that type of style, I don't necessarily know if I'd like that, but this would be a much better of an idea, a midsummer classic between the two leagues.
Yeah.
Where you put their best competitors up against each other. And so you have, maybe you do just 4 matches, 1 from each league, and you put them up against each other just for some fun. Because I know like, for example, in baseball, before each season starts, just for example, for a local team here in California, the San Francisco Giants play the Sacramento River Cats, their AAA team. They play their younger squad just for an exhibition, fun little match. Promotion for that team. Giants come down in Sacramento. All the Giants fans go see them. Mm-hmm. Same thing we were talking about. FCL plays MTS. That might transfer over some fans into the FCL, seeing some people come in and play and how good they might be against MTS competitors.
I just don't want to see a separation in between the two.
Well, I think there's going to be more. I do think it's probably going to become a little bit more of a separation going forward.
I do get that, but like I don't want it to the point where they are like seems like they're like the shunned, like you're over here.
I don't think they're going to become a shunned. I think they're going to become mistake me if I'm wrong, but we have big time wrestling and then something like NXT, right? Which is the same thing essentially, but it's just on a smaller scale.
But they're trying. So the thing with NXT is that NXT is kind of the developmental WWE, and they're trying to not put developmental with FCL. They're trying. It's from what I've gathered for next season, FCL is digital.
Yeah, and it's going to become
fair.
the digital Schmoedown League, which is essentially what's going to become.
Yeah.
Which is why we see someone like Peggy probably transfer over because it fits a little bit better with their schedule.
Yeah.
But real quick, Molly, before we get to, do you have super chat that came through? And I have to scroll all the way back up. Tim Sim, season 8 criticisms I've heard so far is benefit of the doubt rule, too many matches, no triple threats or fatal 4 or 5 ways, which is a really good point. Too much sport and less fun entertainment, which is the storylines we talked about, and lack of big personalities, which is an interesting conversation.
I agree with all that.
Yeah, that's probably a lot think about
the fatal 4 or 5 ways.
We haven't seen one in a long time. We haven't even seen triple threats or anything like that.
Never even crossed my mind.
We got an Iron Man horror match, but that was an exhibition match, and that was
yeah.
That's all we had.
But Molly, look, you kicked all this chaos off in February.
This is all
it's been a crazy 11 months since then. What do you think of season 8 and kind of how it all unfolded?
First of all, it's crazy to think that was this year. Like, it feels like years ago.
February?
Yeah. It was February. I remember finding out about that match in at the end of November, and I was like, "Do what now? I'm playing Laura live?" And so yeah, that was insane. But the whole season was really cool because if we hadn't have gone fully digital, we wouldn't have been able to get a lot of the players that we got this season for the season 8, especially like people who aren't local. And I hope that most of them can still play, because it's just it's a cool opportunity that a lot of people wouldn't have been able to do had we not moved everything digital. I hope there's more Star Wars matches in the tournaments moving forward.
Give us our 16.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree that downsizing the roster is a good idea because then we can focus more on the fan favorites, or it just won't be as cluttered. And it was hard to keep up with all the matches because once you miss one, it's like, okay, you lose count and you're all off with everything. So but yeah, the Damons had a tough year. If I can speak for Alex, I know he started out the year pretty rough because I think he filmed 3 matches in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Between Star Wars and IG, right?
Just got immediately burnt out, and that kind of screwed him for the rest of the season. He was just like, I'm not in it as much as I should be. My heart isn't in it because I am already burnt out.
Yeah.
So.
And he would have kept going had he kept winning some of those matches.
Yeah.
He only 3 weeks was the bare minimum, if I correct.
Yeah.
I can only imagine that could have kept going, and that's scary.
Yeah. So I don't know what his plan is as far as IG and Star Wars and all that, but I think I hope that his heart will be in it a little bit more and he won't get so burnt out. And that goes for all the other players too. Hopefully it won't be so crammed into everyone's schedules next year.
It's a lot. I mean, like we said, Newman's played 10 matches this year?
Yeah.
In his rookie season. That is more than people play in their whole career.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
I also hope that the players get more of a notice for their matches. Not hey, you're going to play so-and-so. Can you do it tomorrow? That's not fun for anyone to have to seriously cram studying wise. So
yeah.
Well, and especially if it's going to become what it is now, and it's a big kudos to the writers and what they're able to do with questions these days and how much they've grown. But if the questions are going to be like what we saw last week, then yeah, competitors do need a little bit of time to prepare and get themselves in the right mindset and maybe study something that they've been planning on studying and cram a little bit, maybe take some time off for work, etc. Something like that. I will say, we're not, so we said sometimes less is more, and that's perfect. It's great. But I will say the last 2 years, whether you like digital or not, whether it worked in places or didn't work in places, the best thing that came from it is that Christian, the Schmoedown, Skybound, they all learn what needs to work and what doesn't, or what does work and what doesn't work.
Hopefully.
And the digital side of things can be adjusted to certain points to where like something like IG and Star Wars can be a digital league inside the Schmoedown, because sometimes like someone like Parker, who works a full-time job and lives, in the Midwest, probably can't travel as much as they would want him to if he's constantly playing IG matches.
90% of the IG and the Star Wars competitors are not LA based.
Yeah.
I would love to know the ratio of, let's even just say Southern California, because if you're in Northern California, that's still a trek.
There are 4 Star Wars players that are Southern California based.
I'm talking about the whole league, like Southern California, local,
Ace,
versus now everyone that's in it. Because I will say, since the addition, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Jake, it seemed like most before were local, maybe before the last 2 years. Now it seems to be the scale tipped the other direction.
Before season 7, about 90% of competitors were West Coast based. You had your Parkers in there who showed up, right? You had the James Whites, etc., who would show up if need be. But because of digital, it's opened the ability to have the Thomas Harpers or the John Hoeys or, those type for Betty, exactly, who's all the way over in Boston. And that would have never happened if the digital side of the Schmoedown didn't take place.
We probably wouldn't have Adam Collins if we didn't.
Yeah, it grew to a point to where it needed to, but now that it's happened, they can look at it and be like, okay, we obviously want to be doing this in person, but we might have to understand that sometimes it might just have to happen. And that should be okay. That should be okay if that happens sometimes. Because to me, I mean, we've talked about it here, there were some digital promos and matches that I was losing my mind over.
Yeah.
And they weren't in person. They were 4 different people in 4 different rooms who weren't in the same. They were 4 different cameras, nobody in the same room, and I was still excited as all hell.
This is also because speaking of promos, because of the digital era, because like when it was back in studio, it was just those pre-interviews where it was the manager and the player, or sometimes just the player, just talking, and they would play clips of past matches. We didn't get these fun little the little video clips of like the players doing like their stuff until digital.
Yeah, like you would have never seen Adam Collins ride a 4-wheeler in a promo if he was in.
No, exactly.
So awesome.
Or when he was in the shed when he first showed up. Correction.
Yeah, Nikki with the Ahsoka makeup. We would have never had that. We wouldn't have freaking Alex and Mollie doing like the whole "I feel the dark" and like
Mollie
the neck grab.
Mollie and Whit doing the force projection stuff. Like, that would have never happened.
No.
I mean, there's going to have to literally be some digital kept. Star Wars is one of those. You can't absolutely
do Star Wars.
No way you are going to be able to do Star Wars in person every time.
No.
Although I saw Tim Sims saying that he hoped every title match for Star Wars would be at some sort of live event. And I agree with that.
I think all title matches should be in person.
I agree.
I think that's probably the way to go. And maybe even something like your number 1 contender matches, tournament finals, and title matches should all be in person because those are the most important.
Yeah.
Maybe and then obviously
I was gonna say just don't oversaturate also the amount of live things. I don't need a live event every single month.
Well, that's already happening. So
that's happening.
Well, less is more people. Less is more.
Well,
I get it.
It's in different cities every month, so
yeah.
And the Schmoedown has grown to a point where, we had a pay-per-view 3 out of 4 weeks a month this year. There were 3 pay-per-views a month. Now we're going down to 1 pay-per-view a month or maybe it's 2 with the pay-per-view and a live event. I'm not sure which way it's going. I'm sure you guys will correct me. but we're getting one live event a month, and it'll just be in different cities, different competitors, probably title matches on the line, etc. So,
I mean, that's one of the only ways. Well, not the only way, but like the live events, I feel like they're expensive to put on, but it's also like a big way for them to make money. Selling tickets, different levels of tickets, merch, meetup, being able to like buy pictures with competitors and all that kind of stuff. So that's a great way for them to make money that they haven't been able to do for a long time. So I totally get that side of it.
That and people buying the live stream to watch it live.
Yes.
Right? $4 or $5 to watch it on a Friday or Saturday night while it's actually happening.
We haven't gotten a live like we're watching it as it's live happening match in a while.
Well, I think New York was, right?
But that was October.
Yeah, but before that it was Atlanta.
Yeah, before that it was Atlanta.
Yeah.
I would love the possibility of those types of things being streamed live. Those, like, I would pay an extra.
Well, that's what they were before.
That's what they were before, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, that being brought back. Like, I would love, I have no problem paying an extra $10 to see the.
Whoa, Brian, wait, hold on. Scale that back because it was $4 before. Don't put that now the ether.
I would not.
Put that on the.
I wouldn't mind paying an extra $4, $5 to.
I'll make sure to bleep that part out.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll edit it.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, granted, if you are paying $10 a month already for the patron plus,
yeah, the $10 tier does get that with their patronage.
Yeah, so but like, I mean, like, I know enjoyment wise, like, I know I would much rather love to know like what's happening while it happens. Like, I'm just gonna throw Spectacular out there, like. I live in another country, let's say, and I can stay up and stream it and watch it live as it's happening versus waiting the weekend to find out when chances are it's probably going to get spoiled for you. So, like, I mean, hopefully that's something that will work. Also, to the point of the amount of stuff, we also have to think about the people that actually work behind the camera.
Yeah.
The non-competitors, like
the question writers.
The question writers. Brian Ward having to make posters. Nerd Chronic doing his videos. Like, those are all things that aren't like, hey, can you do this for me really quick? Thank you.
Yeah.
Like that. Those are not things that people can just do on a whim. And I mean, there's a lot that goes on behind this. Even the announcers, like, I mean, you had to fill in, and I'm sure you can say it's not something that's super easy. Like, oh yeah, I got it really quick. Like, I mean, even
but it happens. Yeah.
So, I mean, the behind the scenes people are working just as hard as those people that are in front of the camera too, if not harder. So those people you want to make sure are not getting a stage of burnout or affecting them negatively.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm ready for the Schmoedown to have their own studio again.
Me too.
Like, that's something else that they gotta pay for, and then a lot of the people that like do this stuff full time will have an office, and like imagine just how much easier it will be with all those people in one place being able to talk to each other, face to face. A lot more will get done, I think, more efficiently.
Sell 20 tickets per audience, and people would come probably out of town to watch a taping, like stuff like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, as much as we're saying on this topic, and Christian, if you're listening to this, hopefully you still are at this point. This is all constructive criticism. We're doing this because we love the game. But we wouldn't be
here if we didn't.
Peaks and valleys, it all comes together. Peaks and valleys, and the Schmoedown is
when you say that.
The Schmoedown is going to absolutely grow from this, and we can't wait to see what happens next season. But with that said, we got to move on because we only have a little bit of time left in this show, and I want to make sure we cover a little bit of Spectacular. And talk about that, not just the matches, but also the event itself, because it is the first time we're getting back to a live event. It is the first time that we're all going to be seeing each other in person. We're seeing 5 incredible matches. We're seeing all of these people join in at this one location for the Schmoedown. Let's just talk about our excitement for a little bit, and then maybe the one match that we're looking forward to the most. We'll save our predictions for a later date, but maybe like the one match you're like looking forward to sitting down and having nobody disturb you, while you watch 5-round chaos happen? Jill starts off.
I would say that the match that I'm most looking forward to would be the IG match, but then I realized I'm going to be nothing but a ball of anxiety for that entire match, so probably not that match. I would probably do the Star Wars match because I think the Star Wars I'm going to actually like really enjoy it. Like I don't like there's like it. Yes, I'm happy for Nikki and Thomas, but it's like that match I could just be like I can enjoy this and not have to have an anxiety attack over it. But my mind hasn't registered the fact that it's like a week and a half away.
Neither is mine.
So I'm just like, oh, right, spectacular. Like the live event. Hooray. Like,
how long have we been talking about this?
Like 3 months.
Oh,
No,
it's longer than that.
And it's like literally next week. And my brain hasn't clicked there just yet. So like I'm not like, oh my God, because
that's next week.
Today, next week, I'm gonna be like, holy God, it's this week.
Since July 7th.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I remember when they were just like, there were like whisperings of the fact that Spectacular was going to happen, period, and that it was going to be live, and we were all just like, ooh.
Yeah, and then the instant they said it was going to happen, we were like, we need to get together. We are all going. This is what we're going to do. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to be going to my first big live event, really, since the last live Spectacular 2 years ago.
Same.
So it's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited to see people that I haven't seen since, lockdown. I'm excited to get back into that energy again. I'm hyped, man. I'm trying not to think of the long day we're going to have. But it's going to be a long weekend we're going to have, but it's going to be full of nothing but absolute fun and chaos, and I cannot wait.
I'm going to come out a zombie, y'all.
That's why I took that Monday off. I'm just like, nope, just going to sleep. But yeah, I'm hyped. I will be much more hyped next week when my brain finally realizes that it's actually happening and this isn't just a dream. Yeah, it's going to be hype. It's going to be hype.
I will bring a couple of these up. I'm waiting on an Epic Bibs entrance.
Ooh,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We get to see that in person. Last time at Spectacular, him and Brendan were dressed up as Santa, throwing candy into the crowd. That was a lot of fun. A lot of people coming to LA for the very first time. That is correct. Brian is looking forward to the main event in the IG match, which will probably be the last two matches. I bet you that's majority of people probably saying that. Now, I know a lot of people are looking forward to the teams, though, because of Griffy, Newms, and Khan, and because of King Arthur. Molly, I'm guessing you have a specific match you're looking forward to for obvious reasons, but outside of Star Wars, maybe what's something that you're really interested in?
I mean, I'm excited to see Parker get that belt.
Yeah.
Parker has been studying his tiny butt off all freaking year. And I'm so excited to see him get up on stage and play Mike. I mean, that's going to be a really awesome match. I agree. I'll probably be full of anxiety, but I've been so excited for this ever since we knew that it was going to happen. So very happy for Parker.
I think the IG match is the one I'm looking forward to the most because.
Oh, really? No,
thank you.
Because
the IG match, you'll see me during match anxiety mode where I'm looking down and I'm just going like this.
I said it. I think I said it. We did an episode when Sean was on and we talked about like, okay, let's make predictions for the end of the year. Who's holding the belt at the end of the year? And I remember saying, I think it's a passing of the baton. Parker beats Cal Nowski to get Spectacular.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be such a cool moment because Mike has defended twice this year, got the belt back for the third time, but then he loses to, the one who is essentially like a predecessor, if you will. And now it's Parker's time to shine. And who knows what can happen next year, but I just think it's going to be a really cool match of young and veteran going up against each other. Obviously, the Star Wars is Star Wars. It's the one we always talk about on the channel the most. Like, that's clear. I'm going to get those fantasy points because Nikki going to take that belt. But I think I'm excited for that IG match just because it's Parker Kalinowski. Like, it's a dream matchup that we've been waiting for 2 years. Like, it's finally happening, and it's happening on the biggest stage of the Schmoedown.
Jake,
Nikki-
every event we've gone to, Kalinowski's played.
Yeah, I finally want to see him lose. Actually, I want to see him lose like he did at Spectacular 2 years ago when he guys.
Because we saw him beat Rachel.
Yikes.
Yeah, we saw him beat Rachel for the title.
Yeah.
And then we saw him get him smacked down by Smets. Or I saw him getting smacked down by Spectacular by Smets. Parker about to lay a beating on that boy.
Yeah.
But anyway, Brian, what about you?
I mean, I obviously Star Wars is just that's the most fun to me because half the time I'm like, is that the right answer? And so I don't even know. So, well, actually, that's like that with all the questions. Yeah, I'm just honestly excited to just be in the atmosphere of just all these people because I speak for Jake and I, but like the last time we were in a Schmoedown environment was the award show, and that was before we even started this show because that was kind of the night that Jake and I were like, we should actually do an after show. Like he'd been trying to get me to do it for a year, a while, and so
Christian,
then after,
if you're watching this, can you give us the date for the award show, please? Like, just DM it to us. That'd be appreciated.
yeah, my boss is already like, any more days you want to take off? Yeah. So I mean, him and I came into it just literally like we were there because we wanted to maybe get to see people and in person, like, and just meet people. I know we were both upset that Mollie and Alex weren't there, but
I didn't even know it was happening.
yeah. But I mean, like, look at what 2 years has come from. Not even, and it's wild. I'm just so excited to just. I think the thing I'm most looking forward to out of the whole entire thing is just being around everyone that we've interacted with over the last 2-ish years. Every single person, fans, competitors, people that have been on the show, people that haven't been on the show, people I've become really close with, people I've just chatted with a few times. Like all of that stuff is what I'm honestly looking forward to more than the matches, than anything. Like just getting to actually like meet people as excited as I am to be in this environment. And I think it's going to be something that people are going to remember regardless of match outcomes for the rest of their lives. I mean, we haven't seen these people in 2 years plus. I've never even met Mollie and Jill. Well, Jill kind of in person.
No one knows how tall I am.
Exactly.
I do.
I've met Alex and Mollie, but they don't remember me. So.
Yeah. So it's just it's wild.
If it was at a live event, I was probably drinking. So
I mean,
hopefully I didn't come off as a nerdy fan or anything. That's probably.
Oh, we did. Oh, we definitely.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I can remember Jake having to calm me down before we almost first talked to them for the first time. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And it's like now we're going to literally be staying in an Airbnb with them. So and
Brian won't remember.
You won't remember because you're gonna be freaking exhausted because your bedtime's 10
Because
o'clock.
you're gonna be asleep when all the fun stuff is happening.
I will say this:
tired, y'all.
He might be a grumpy like grandpa at night, but he will be the most thriving in the morning.
You guys will be excited. You guys will be
breakfast.
excited that I'm gonna go to bed so early because you're gonna wake up to a fine breakfast. That's what's gonna happen.
I mean, I'm not mad about that.
I will
mad
give
about
him mornings because he is a morning person.
How many bathrooms are in this place? The morning of Spectacular is going to be.
I know
scary.
we're gonna have to plan because there's 2 bathrooms for like 12 people.
There's only 2 in the whole
need
entire place.
Sign up sheets for the shower.
Oh
Yeah,
my
we're
God.
gonna have to
We'll be fine. We'll be
schedule.
fine.
We need to order a porta potty for the backyard.
We'll be
So,
good. week.
But yeah,
I mean, if it becomes that desperate, I'll just drive people to my place and we'll get ready here. If it becomes
honestly, yeah. But back to it, honestly, just interacting with everyone. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. More than the matches, more than anything, just getting to be around all these people that I've formed connections with, big or small. Like that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Not even close. Jake?
No, hey, I think that's a good way to wrap it up.
But what about yours? Did you say yours?
Well, I said the match I'm looking forward to. You know, I said the IG match is the one that I'm excited for. But obviously,
we're going to TP the Action House. That's
the outside of the Schmoedown stuff, I'm looking forward to. You know, obviously seeing our group that we're being with, and I think we mentioned it up top, but we have a group chat, the Spectacular chat, and it's a wild chat. One person's talking about hopefully not mooning us at one point. The other talking about drinking. Like it's a fun little group that we have going. You're going to see a lot of it. We do plan on vlogging and shooting some videos, and obviously
our happy hour is going to be crazy.
We will have a live happy hour, which is going to be a lot of fun. But before we got here, we do have 2 Streamlabs that I want to get through before we wrap things up. First one comes from Tim Sim. It says, FYI for the main event, Marisol will try to end the unlucky streak of singles champs, always losing the belt at Spectacular main event since 2017.
Wow.
Okay.
And Griffy will try to be the second player to win both the Spectacular matches since Ben Bateman. Oh, that's right. He did win in 2019. That's right.
Well,
and then Farrell,
11-0 throughout a whole season.
Yeah, and then Farrell here. When is next COP or when is next POV after December 4th? TBT at the moment. We're gonna have to see what happens after Spectacular because some of us will actually be traveling, that day and possibly the day after. And then will Rachel get a Christmas bonus? I mean, she deserves one. She definitely deserves one for all the hard work she does here on the channel. But
we get to meet her.
Spectacular. We get to see her.
For Jake and I, we've been talking to her for how many years?
Over 2 years now. Yeah, 2-3 years. Yeah, she's been a champ here on POV and Apocalypse for a long time. So we're very, very lucky. But wild times are coming, y'all. Wild times are coming. We won't have a video the rest of the week because there are no more reactions. We'll be having a nice little breather. But there might be some Patreon stuff happening. So keep an eye on that. If you missed out on it, Twilight Trivia was last week, and my goodness, it was bonkers. It was an absolute blast.
There's a lot of shit talking on.
It was an absolute blast.
I would have done so much better if I hadn't have been tipsy.
Isn't that your story?
Patrons didn't take place. The video, so you can actually watch it, will be up this week. Our watch along poll is officially on Patreon as well, so you can check that out. Brian and Usbomb, to answer your question, there will be a show next week. I plan on having a guest that actually is competing at Spectacular to talk a little bit with that person beforehand. And we'll keep you guys updated. It'll be on Sunday this week because our watch along is on Monday before we head to Spectacular the following Thursday. So everyone who watches, thank you all so much. We greatly appreciate your support. And as always, we'll let the crew do a little plugs before we head out. Brian, kick us off.
At Biavalcino on Twitter. I don't know what my Instagram is. It's something. I've changed it 8 times because the kids keep finding it. But I would say probably that's going to be where all, at least for Spectacular, my stuff is. So if you want to, what is it? Oh, same thing. Same as Twitter for Instagram. And then Apocalypse Movies with Jake. I'm trying to think of what we're talking about. I forgot already. What are we talking about?
TBD.
Oh, perfect. So it's not my fault. I don't know.
Molly.
At Mollie Damon on Twitter, Mollie Mander on Instagram. Follow all of us on Instagram because we'll probably be posting a lot of stories.
So many little lines.
So many little lines.
I'll leave it to
all
these
the
two.
teeny tiny lines.
Jake's going to be the actual camera person.
Yeah.
So many little lines.
Yeah. Star Wars Explained on YouTube. Oh, Star Wars Explained on TikTok.
Yeah.
We made a fun little TikTok video recently, and I mean we're posting daily things on there. So if you're on TikTok,
blurbs are amazing. They're all stupid things that I have been like wondering for like ever, and I'm like, how did he know I wanted to know this?
he just knows.
Yeah.
It's magic.
And Jill?
Yeah, Jilly Marie on Twitter and Instagram, 2 Y's, 2 E's. You can also catch me on my couch this week because I'll be in a coma from food from Thanksgiving. So, pew, pew, pew.
Yay! Same.
Yeah. At Qui-Gon Jake with myself, Twitter, Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram for spectacular stuff, you can go ahead and do that. Apocalypse Movies with Brian, The Whiskey Jedi. There might be a live episode of Whiskey Jedi happening from the POV house. That idea was thrown out there because there's a lot of Star Wars people in that house.
There's a couple.
I mean, people are going to be drunk anyway, so you might as well just.
So that might be a little fun. But yeah,
it'll be the pregame for happy hour.
That's what I
it might end up being that might end up being the happy hour pregame. You're correct.
The pregame.
Obviously, Schmoedown POV on Twitter, Streamlabs, Patreon. We hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, have yourselves a great turkey day with your family. Spend some time with your loved ones. And we will see you guys on next Sunday. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye.